All for coming. I'd like to start us off with a quick word of prayer and then just get going on the meeting if everybody's good with that. So, dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you so much for bringing us all here today. I thank you for keeping everyone safe and allowing us to continue to have this meeting despite the weather. And I ask that you would be with us as we're talking about the quizzing and reminding us all that we are here not just to drill knowledge into these kids, but to give them your word, Lord, and to share with them about your Son so that they know it not just for today, not just for a quiz, and not just for a medal, but they know it for life. They're going to know it when they're adults and they need it and when it comes back to them. So I'd ask that you be with us all today for the rest of this meeting, getting everyone home safely, and be with us as we're practicing with our kids for this quiz and on the day of the quiz. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, thank you all for coming. I am Kelly Spreitzer. I'm kind of in charge here at Grace Point of the TNT Bible Quiz. You see on your sheets, you should see it, is my email address and my cell phone number that you can call or text. The most important thing with Bible quizzing is communication. The more you communicate with me and the more I'm able to get information to you, the more successful the day is. So this year, the new thing is the registration. It is taking place on a website. The Bible quiz registration website is through Great Lakes Ministries. I will send out a digital copy of this to your email, and that link will actually work. I think you can just Google the link, Great Lakes Ministries Bible quiz registration, and it should come up. That's how I found it. So you'll go in there. It's going to ask you for your church name, your how many teams that you have, what Bible version you're doing, and it will ask, does it ask coaches?
Volunteer names?
Volunteer name and email.
Addresses?
Yes, volunteer email and address, and your coach's names and email address. Again, I try to collect all the email addresses, not so I can spam you, but I can give you information regarding the quiz. I make sure that you guys have all the dates and times. I make sure that you have all of the I run through and create all the name tags and score sheets in advance, and I email out and make sure I have the correct spelling of all your quizzers' names. So that kind of information. So in order to participate in the quiz, you need to go to that website. You need to register your kids. The cost for a TNT team is $35, $40 for a Trek and Journey team. Your registration is not complete until payment is received. Once it is received, I get a notification in my email that you have registered. I'll contact you, let me know I've received your registration. At which point, because you don't know, probably if you go and register now, you don't know who your kids are paired up with. You don't know their teammates or anything like that. I don't expect you to know that. But as of February 1st, so about 2 weeks from now, I need to know for TNT who your quizzers, your partners are. I need their name and their partner. I need their grade that they are in. I need to know special needs. Do you have someone with a hearing issue? Do you have someone that's kind of squirrely and moves around a lot? I need to know those things. I can prepare their seats. I can make sure that we have the equipment set up so that we can hook into their FM for their hearing. But I need to know it in advance. It's really hard if I don't find out until that Saturday morning at 8:30. And that makes it very difficult for the quiz to run on time if I don't get that information until then. So, and I also need to know a scorekeeper's name or a volunteer. I put on the sheet a scorekeeper because typically that is what the volunteer is going to do, is be a scorekeeper. I do have a couple other positions that I would move people around in, but I need a scorekeeper name and an email address. It can be a parent. It doesn't matter. Scorekeeping can be taught the day of. It is not difficult. We have sheets. The kids hold up their paddles. The judges say that's correct, or the answer is, you look and see, okay, they had it, and you mark it in the box that they've got their points. You don't even have to add it up. The scorekeepers don't have to add it up. We have a judges or a scorekeeping head table. We add it up for you. So all you have to do is just mark right or wrong.
Don't even know math.
You don't even have to be able to count. It's like,
Math. Wow.
this is, so there's really, and my thing is, if you're a parent and you're there, you're there. Why would you not just sit in the front row and score a keep? I mean, I don't know. That's the kind of thing. But I do need a volunteer from every church. If I don't have enough scorekeepers, it slows the quiz down considerably. Okay, the more scorekeepers I have, the faster this quiz goes. So there is that.
We could have two if you want it, right?
Right, if you've got 2 people from your church that want to volunteer, I will take them. This
Don't
is,
split up families, husband, wife.
right, exactly, I am not particular, so we need the volunteers. And I will hound you about that. You will get emails if I don't have a volunteer from your church, I'm gonna hound, just because we need them. So, TNT quiz teams. A quiz team consists of 2 quizzers. They can be boy and girl, 2 boys, 2 girls, however you want to do it, but it's 2 quizzers. Each church, you may have 1 3-person team. And what we do is we drop the lowest score on the 3rd person. So if you have 3 kids, maybe you only have 3 kids at your church that want to participate in the quiz, we will drop, you just put them together on a team, we'll drop the lowest score of
They
that.
don't know that.
They don't know that yet. You don't need to tell them that. That's not something they...
Unless they do horrible and they're falling, you're like, you didn't matter.
Right, exactly. Then you can let them know.
But just say it in a kind way, you doesn't matter, yeah.
You just say you didn't hurt your team.
This is, before I go into this next part about the divisions and the books, can I ask, is there anybody here that's doing the Grace in Action book? Right now, the current book, the newest book this year was Evidence of Grace.
Yep.
Agents of Grace, I'm sorry,
Agents.
Agents of Grace. Agents of Grace. Is anybody doing Grace in Action? Okay,
Are they doing it? Evidence of grace, did we say?
No.
there's
Great.
John-
Okay, so-
This is the book.
this is the current book,
Yeah.
The
Right.
Agents of Grace. Do you have that, 3rd grade?
This
Is
is
anybody doing that
2 years
book?
ago, this one
My
was
3rd
released.
and 4th graders are doing that book.
They are.
So you do have kids.
So will you have quizzers in that book
I
then?
have 2 teams, but there's.
Okay.
But if there's no other church to compete against your 2 teams.
Right.
We have a problem.
Mhm.
So, right now, you need to keep in good contact with
There-
Kelly.
There's,
Yeah.
there's a break-even point. We're not really concerned, if your church has 3 teams, or whatever,
But they would just be competing against one another.
they'd be competing against one another, you want to pay for them, that's fine by us.
But we
I know,
also
this
discussed
happens to you,
previously,
like the pre-period.
Well, no, because that's the 5th and 6th grade, and that's the 3rd and 4th grade, which is how we're doing it at our
I'll
church.
stand by my third.
Right.
But
You
but
can
we,
stand by, but you can't quiz against them.
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, and that's,
So-
we've talked about this before, because your church has a quiz for
Okay,
that purpose.
we are gonna go on the assumption at this point, though. Let's go on the assumption that we have people not here at this meeting. There is a chance that we could have others quizzing in that first book, the Grace in Action. So, here's the way it works for TNT. Ideally, you have 3rd and 4th graders on a team and 5th and 6th graders on a team, okay? In a perfect world, the 3rd and 4th graders would be in that Grace in Action. 5th and 6th would be in Agents of Grace. It does not work out that way because our church is the way that we did it. For instance, our church is all in one book. So we're gonna have 3rd through 6th graders mixed in Agents of Grace. So, per church, so let's say you have got 3 kids that are in 3rd and 4th grade and 3 kids in 5th and 6th grade. You may have 2 3-person teams in that instance, okay? I'm not gonna ask you to split and pair them up, so you can do that. You also may have, if you've got a team, a 3-person team in this book and a 3-person team in the other book, you may also have 2 3-person teams. What I don't want is you to come with 6 kids in this book and have 2 teams. It is 3 teams. Does that make sense to
If
everybody?
they're in the same age bracket, you're saying.
Right, if they're in the same age bracket, again, okay? And I'll explain the age bracket now. Okay, so the way that it works, and this is gonna kind of jump ahead a little bit, but you start the quiz and you have the paddles. So it's a multiple choice, A, B, C. And that is, everybody does that, and it's individual. Each kid has a paddle, all the kids are scored individually. Then that's 10 questions. The next 10 questions are huddle. And that's where you get to work with your team. If you have one other person on your team or 2 other, all 3 of you get to huddle and answer the question. Okay. If you have a 5th or 6th grader on your team, they will compete in 6 additional speed questions. So the 3rd and 4th graders will leave the stage, the 5th and 6th graders have speed, okay? If you have paired a 5th grader with a 3rd grader, or you have someone older and pair them with a younger, they must compete in the speed round, even if you have a third grader in that round. Does that make sense to everybody, what I'm saying? It's not, we're trying to level the playing field as much as we can. And in my mind, it is not fair if you've got a sixth grader quizzing with a third grader and you don't make them do the speed, because that sixth grader, you know, they might be more experienced, even if it's their first time quizzing, they're probably gonna just be a little bit more advanced than your third or fourth grader. So we do require them to compete in the speed round.
If they don't want to.
If they don't want to compete in the speed round, that's fine, but they're not gonna, we're not giving them a medal for first place in the third and fourth grade division.
And
Okay?
they're basically just not gonna get the points for speed.
No, they're not gonna get a first place, they won't be able to qualify for perfect score,
Right.
they won't be able to qualify for.
Well, perfect score they could get, because we don't include speed on that, so everybody can get a perfect score. What happens is, you're gonna have your third and fourth grade division, they're gonna have a first through fourth place. Your fifth and sixth grade division also has first through fourth place. If you've got a sixth grader on a team that did not participate in the speed round, and they won, they got the highest score for the third and fourth grade division, we're not giving them a medal, okay? Against, say, two third graders that paired up.
Just to be fair.
We're just trying to level the playing field as much as possible.